As we had talked about, landmark climate change legislation heads to the House floor today. But do Democrats have enough votes to pass a bill Republicans say will put the economy in peril? Peter Cook is on the Hill with a key member of the Democratic leadership. Peter.
Betty, thanks very much. House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer has been involved in some close votes in his time in Congress. He could face another one today. He joins us from the Hill to talk about this climate change bill and its prospects for passage. Leader Hoyer, thanks for the time. And I got to ask you off the top, do you have 218 votes for this bill?
I think we're going to have 218 votes, or a majority of the votes when this bill is voted upon later this afternoon.
And right now, you expect this bill to actually be considered this afternoon? There was some talk it might roll into tomorrow?
It may roll into tomorrow. I don't know that to be the case, but we're going to take it under consideration. We'll see how long it takes to consider it. But the fact of the matter is we think this is a critically important, historic day, frankly, to move on some very, very critically important issues. One being, of course, our national security. We cannot continue to be held hostage to those from abroad who are supplying us with an overwhelming percentage of our energy needs. And we also got to meet the global warming crisis that confronts us. These two issues are critical. This bill is a step, a very important step, to meet those two challenges. In addition, we want to make our own energy more efficient and more environmentally friendly, and in the long run bring prices down for energy and not be held hostage to those overseas who will jack up prices, as we've seen over the last year, where gasoline prices, petroleum products went over $4.
Leader Hoyer, you know the argument from Republicans already. This is a job killer. This is going to put the economy back into recession is the argument they're making.
Well, we don't think that's the case. Of course, the Republicans said their economic program in 2001, 2003 would spur the economy, create jobs, and have a great growth impact on the economy. In fact, their policies led to the greatest recession we've had, the worst recession, I shouldn't say greatest, worst recession, deepest recession we've had since the Great Depression, which resulted from their economic policies in the 20s. So we don't think Republicans have had a very good track record. In fact, Democrats have grown the economy, grown jobs. We believe this will do both. And we think it will also provide, as I said, for our national security and our energy independence, as well as confronting the crisis of global warming, which will undermine our economic well-being as time goes by, and is already doing so. So we simply disagree with the Republicans, and we believe their analysis in the past has been wrong and is wrong today.
Leader Hoyer, have you given away too much in getting the bill to this spot? There's been so much talk about the concessions made. 85% of the permits have been given away for free to industries as opposed to auctioned off, which the president campaigned on, of course, during the presidential campaign. Environmental groups, some of them aren't prepared to back this bill.
Well, some of them aren't, but I think the overwhelming majority are. And very frankly, a large percentage of business is also supporting this. So when you say, have we given away too much, I don't think that's the case. In fact, I think we brought a bill that is a balanced bill that looks to all the energy sources that are available to us, that looks for energy efficiency and looks for focusing on renewable energy, and relies on the free market, on the private market system to incentivize becoming more energy efficient and more energy friendly in terms of the environment. So we think this bill is obviously, like any piece of legislation, it's an agreement between competing interests, but we think it's a very positive result, and we think that this will be a very positive step forward to create jobs, to grow the economy, and to be energy independent and energy efficient. So we think it's a bill that accomplishes all those objectives.
China and India, one of the sticking points we understand right up to the last minute was whether or not countries that don't impose the same sort of cap-and-trade system, whether they might be punished through trade sanctions down the road. What's going to happen to China and India?
Well, I think that we're going to see there's a meeting in Copenhagen coming up in December of all the nations. America is the leader of the free world. And America needs to lead in this respect. I think if we lead, we will set an example for the rest of the international community, particularly China and India. Clearly, if America becomes energy efficient, more friendly to the environment, and China and India do not, it will be difficult to positively affect the global climate. So that's going to be necessary for us to urge China and India, as well as other nations, to cooperate.
We got to leave it there. We're back after this break.